The fallout from a strike at manufacturing giant John Deere, combined with a global supply chain shortage, is now trickling down to farmers. Farmers say that equipment is already scarce, and now with 10,000 John Deere employees on strike,
that they're going to move a lot of their manufacturing business to Mexico. If you do that, we're putting a 200% tariff on everything that you want to sell into the United States.
Amid a historic trade dispute, the American heartland feels the ground shift. For generations, John Deere's factories stood as symbols of national resilience, where steel and labor crafted machines that sustained global agriculture. Yet in 2025, a seismic policy change hit. President Trump's aggressive 200% tariffs on imported parts disrupted worldwide supply chains, transforming financial ledgers into contested terrain. Now, in a move that has jolted communities from Iowa to Illinois, John Deere is poised to relocate key operations to Mexico. Critics label it disloyalty. Executives frame it as necessity, as factory gates risk shutting and towns prepare for economic ripples. The iconic green and yellow brand confronts a question it never anticipated. Can American legends stay American when survival demands departure? The green paint and yellow wheels once symbolized stability, a bond between machinery, land, and community. Now, one strategic pivot has sent tremors from riverfronts to grain silos. The fallout extends far beyond wages. Soon, we'll share the critical metric that reshapes this narrative, the single figure that reveals why allegiance can vanish swiftly. Stay tuned for that reveal later in this video. Before we dive in, please tap the like button. It helps us navigate YouTube's algorithm. To grasp today's reality, let's trace the roots. In 1837, a blacksmith crafted a polished steel plow that cut through tough prairie earth, birthing a company whose logo became synonymous with endurance and advancement. Across decades of hardship, prosperity, and transformation, the brand wove itself into the cadence of rural life and small-town schedules. Its manufacturing centers, dotting the Midwest, fueled both livelihoods and equipment, with dealership signs doubling as community emblems. The legacy wasn't just machinery. It was a covenant between company and place, renewed each planting season as crops rose and paychecks sustained households. This history matters because it created an expectation. Innovation would carry a local voice, progress wouldn't demand distance, and new advancements would uplift the same streets that carry the past. Before we go further, hit the subscribe button. It truly boosts our channel's growth. Generations built lives on factory floors, in foundries, testing grounds, and behind sales counters. Families align their routines with product launches and harvest cycles, while municipal budgets mirrored production rhythms. In school halls, parade routes, and local fundraisers, the brand's presence evolved from logo to lexicon, blending into daily life. This intimacy forged a rare corporate bond, a mutual trust that felt like family. When an employer is also a neighbor, decisions resonate deeply. In stable times, this closeness smoothed tensions. In turbulent times, it amplified uncertainty as factory updates spread swiftly through coffee shops and farmyards, turning whispers into worry before official word arrived. Clarity became as vital as any new tractor feature. Recent years piled on challenges. Supply chains crisscrossed borders, costs fluctuated with tariffs and shipping, credit tightened under rising interest rates, and crop revenues swayed with weather and global politics. Companies that once prioritized local ties shifted toward cost efficiency and adaptability, rethinking where components, circuits, and assembly lines should reside. These choices weren't made in isolation. They clashed with shareholder demands, dealer viability, and the reality that equipment must remain affordable to be practical. Relocating certain production lines emerged as a strategy, contentious but pitched as a way to weather a volatile world. For communities, though, the question wasn't just about spreadsheets. It was about whether these decisions preserve lives and how choices meant to absorb shocks elsewhere might create new ones at home. Public reports in recent years detailed layoffs, relocations, and production shifts that hit hardest in Midwestern towns. Workers described staggered announcements, teams dwindling gradually, and rumors outpacing formal notices. Dealerships adjusted staffing, suppliers revised contracts, and families redrew budgets. The disruption wasn't just about job numbers, but how news traveled. Fragmented, tentative, and often veiled in vague corporate language that fueled unease. In workplaces that once valued consistency, the pace of change felt alien, and silence between updates heightened anxiety more than any report could. Local leaders sought firm timelines to plan around. Schools reassessed projections, and small businesses debated whether to grow or hold steady. Without clear direction, many paused, a costly hesitation when bills, rents, and tuition deadlines didn't wait. Why move some operations to Mexico? Corporate explanations echo industry standards. Proximity to the U.S. market, streamlined cross-border logistics, cost-effective labor, robust supplier networks, and access to steel and parts without long shipping delays. Operationally, consolidating production in one region can cut lead times and stabilize expenses during demand swings. From a community perspective, though, this logic feels like loss. What seems efficient on a map appears hollow on a hometown street, especially when products are still sold near shuttered plants. Both perspectives hold truth, making the debate complex. It's not about the competence of planners, but about how gains and losses are shared and whether those align with the promises that built the brand's reputation. Every major manufacturer balances two timelines. One is short-term, driven by quarterly reports, investor calls, and market pressures. The other is long-term, shaped by apprenticeships, local tax bases, and the gradual accrual of trust. Stock buybacks and dividends serve the first. Plant upgrades, supplier partnerships, and workforce training serve the second. In steady times, these align. In turbulent times, they diverge, and choices favoring one can disrupt the other. This tension isn't unique, but it's starkest where the long-term timeline has defined entire regions. When workers and neighbors see profits distributed outward while jobs move away, a narrative forms, sometimes fairly, sometimes not. Restoring trust requires more than financial rationales. It demands actions that resonate with the language of place as much as the language of profit. The immediate impact of a shift is lost jobs. The broader impact is what those jobs sustain. Fewer customers at diners, slower mortgage approvals, delayed infrastructure projects. Suppliers of parts like brackets or wiring face survival pricing. Credit unions reassess risk when a steady employer becomes uncertain. Even youth sports feel the pinch when sponsorships dwindle. These effects don't make headlines. They emerge in small choices, compounding in barbershops and church pews over months. If unaddressed, caution becomes entrenched. Resilient communities act fast, seeking new suppliers, training hubs, or collaborative ventures to retain talent while the bigger picture stabilizes. Inaction erodes the ability to seize opportunities later. Dealers bridge factory and field, their actions signaling trends. When crop profits shrink and borrowing costs climb, buyers prioritize essentials, keep demo units longer, and delay trading in used equipment until prices adjust. Swelling inventories slow production. Rapid sales speed it up. In unpredictable markets, savvy dealers expand service offerings and emphasize reliability, as a timely repair often outweighs a cheaper model. The service bay's health is as critical as the showroom's shine. Dealers also play a delicate role, conveying factory realities to customers without causing alarm and relaying customer pressures to factories without straining ties. Trust is the currency that keeps this balance smooth. When spent recklessly, the friction is audible to all. For farmers, decisions hinge on tight windows. A planter delayed by a day can disrupt an entire season, and no spreadsheet can replace a lost sunny afternoon. Farmers weigh total ownership costs, reliability, payment terms, resale value, and the assurance that a technician will arrive promptly with the right part when a sensor fails. Software matters, but so does the guarantee that equipment runs when fields are ready. In lean years, reliability trumps features. Transparent service, clear diagnostics, and accessible parts build loyalty that ads can't. Uptime is both a product and a commitment. We mentioned a key metric earlier. Here it is. Can a broken machine be fixed within one working day during a critical season? When the answer is yes, loyalty strengthens. When it's no, switching becomes conceivable, then probable, regardless of brand colors. This isn't about mystique. It's about uptime psychology, shaped by seasons, labor, and cash flow. All else, automation, horsepower, financing, competes under that benchmark. Companies that align factories, parts hubs, software, and dealer staffing to meet this one-day standard often sustain the trust that keeps communities grounded, even amid strategic shifts. This metric reframes abstract debates about location into practical tests of response, felt directly by towns and farms each season. Connected equipment offers benefits, predictive maintenance, precise inputs, and data-driven efficiency. But it also creates friction when proprietary tools, encryption, or permissions delay repairs at critical moments. The right to repair debate isn't just legal or philosophical. It's about uptime. Farmers want safety and security, but also the ability to fix common issues or hire independent technicians without software barriers. Manufacturers that balance openness with system integrity earn trust as tangible as crop yields. Secure logs, tiered access, and audit trails enable work while maintaining resilience. When this balance feels fair, tensions ease, and collaboration grows, a design that signals respect. Automation addresses labor shortages, safety, and environmental demands. Guidance systems, vision tech, and machine learning cut overlap, reduce inputs, and let operators focus on high-value tasks. But adoption requires training, affordable pricing, and support. If small farms feel excluded or tools lack service backing, innovation feels like a weight, not a boost. The best approach treats automation as a partner to farmers, starting with humble design and supported by technicians who can turn code into results at field's edge when time is short. Tools that respect those moments prove their worth. Competition is fierce. Rivals highlight simplicity, affordable pricing, flexible financing, dense dealer networks, or durable equipment repurposed for farming. Brands expanding U.S. plants emphasize local jobs. Those with global reach stress scale and adaptability. For farmers considering a change, the pitch is practical. Parts in stock, technicians available, and terms that ease cash flow volatility. Every brand sells a form of certainty. When loyalty falters, that certainty goes to whoever delivers it consistently. Service vans, not ads, often shape market share over time. Reliability advertises itself quietly by honoring time. Policy shapes these choices. Lawmakers debate tying tax incentives to job retention, training, or domestic investment. Trade policies and tariffs alter steel, electronics, and shipping costs overnight. Effective policy stabilizes without favoring specific players. Poor policy adds turbulence. Communities need clarity over rhetoric to plan beyond the next quarter. Clear criteria and timelines turn policy into a tool, letting companies commit and citizens hold them accountable. Predictability is respect. Trust erodes in the gap between decisions and explanations. When change is unavoidable, clear schedules, defined milestones, and straightforward reasons lessen the pain while preserving dignity. Workers who know the why, and when can retrain or negotiate from firmer ground. Neighbors and suppliers can adjust plans rather than guess. Silence fuels rumors and erodes decades-old bonds. The solution isn't catchy phrases, it's consistent, honest updates paired with actions that match. Leaders who engage at town halls, union meetings, and schools earn credibility that numbers alone can't. Presence is strategy, not politeness. Behind every figure are families recalculating. Some take temporary jobs in construction, trucking, or healthcare, seeking roles that value their skills. Others pursue training in mechatronics, welding, or diagnostics, adapting machinery experience to new fields. Community groups offer stipends, childcare, and support. The emotional toll, shaken pride, disrupted routines, scattered networks, is real, but so is resilience. Peer networks share job leads and advice over coffee. Communities that document needs clearly access aid faster, turning compassion into action and action into progress. Progress counters drift, signaling that tomorrow remains within reach. Suppliers feel shocks early. A machine shop losing a contract must find new volume, retool, or face crushing costs. Some pivot to aerospace or energy. Others collaborate to chase bigger contracts. Banks weigh extending credit or tightening terms. Landlords offer rent relief to retain tenants. Success hinges on honest math, shared risk, and timelines that allow recovery without assuming a quick return to normal. Regional alliances uncover hidden strengths, heat treatment in one town, software skills in another, building a new foundation together. Reinvention thrives in partnership. Please hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Your support means everything.